What's up guys, Gamblrr here, and today we're going over the latest chapter of the One Piece manga. Initial thoughts coming from the spoilers. I think I owe Emu an apology because we are cooked. No, I did not reread all of Elbath. Yes, I didn't do it because it was too much work, and no, I won't be saying this next week because I will reread it by next week on tax, so I'm not capping. Anyways, make sure to like, subscribe, and of course, enjoy the video. Last chapter we had a color spread, so I totally forgot we were in the middle of one of the most boring cover stories to ever exist in the history of cover stories. I don't think I have a single thing I enjoy about Yamato. That character absolutely sucks to me. Anyways, I do remember a couple chapters ago that they saved ulti in page 1, so apparently they're just following Yamato around now. We're really gonna have ulti in page 1 on our side during the final war. Can you believe that? This is probably the most interesting thing to come out of this entire cover story, so maybe I gotta stop hating. Anyways, let's get into the actual chapter. The chapter name is Domi Reversi. Domi Reversi? If I'm pronouncing this wrong, no I'm not. You are. The chapter starts with the giant seeing the children still walking on the tree branch and being happy that they're all okay. Colin's still crying his eyes out about last chapter. And real spill, we're so lucky Chopper was on the scene because now there's literally like a 1% chance Gabon dies. Dude, do you know how crazy I would go if Chopper let this guy go? Lately I've been seeing Chopper slander, and for good reason. I don't really like Chopper, but it's not like I dislike him. I can tolerate him. It's just post time skip he's gone through a grand total of like 0 character arcs. He's basically just a mascot. He's just there to be cute. In Wano, the guy was trying to fight Queen. Queen didn't take him seriously in the slightest, and he was wavering in his belief in Luffy. Sanji literally had to lecture him and tell him to stop crying so much, but of course, that won't save him. Come on now. I genuinely only have faith in Usopp for this arc. Even though I really don't like him, I'm expecting a masterclass. Usopp, save us. The giants are trying to take the kids off course, but suddenly the giant in front stares menacingly at the kids. I'm very confused on what happened here. I thought the black ink on the panel was blood, but it's actually kanji, and I'm pretty sure this is the writing of stare. We see this when people use Conqueror's Haki or just stare menacingly at people. Maybe Emo controlled, bro? I literally do not know what happened here, but even the others are confused on what's going on. And then Emu shoots out an insane burst of Conqueror's Haki, knocking out the kids and the giants that were trying to help. Can you guys who aren't on Twitter guess what the discourse this chapter was about? I mean, obviously other than Emu and what they did this chapter, what do you guys think was almost talked about as much? It was Conqueror's Haki discourse. The Zoro fans were trying to retaliate, saying that this is real Conqueror's Haki indication because it actually knocked people out. It was so hilarious watching this because what they were saying made absolutely no sense. Why would Gabon want to knock anyone out with Conqueror's Haki? He obviously wasn't going to knock out any Holy Knights with Conqueror's Haki. He wasn't going to knock the kids out, and neither the giants. Who in the world was Gabon going to knock out? It's just so funny spectating this because what? There was also conversation about how the child of a conqueror hasn't ever been knocked out by Conqueror's Haki.
Oh my gosh! Feed. I told you.
It's like we didn't read Whole Cake Island or the entire story and we skipped straight to Elbath. The cope was absolutely crazy this chapter. In the next page, more giants are being knocked out, but we see the big boy giants still approaching the battle. Jirul is seeing things going on and he's staring in the distance with an absolutely menacing look. And then we see Emu using a summoning circle to send 2 bombs at the giants in front of them that didn't get knocked out. Then we get a full look at the design. Gunko's literally turned into a devil after being possessed. Gunko says they won't permit rebellion, and so they ask Longneck if this is all the dream monsters he can make. Longneck replies saying not at all, and that there are still many other nightmare fizzers still open. After all, the monsters don't have a concept of death, so they can be revived multiple times after being defeated. Emu then tells Summers to shepherd the urchins in front of him. Summers is actually back together, I guess. He disables his vine powers on the ground, so obviously he's not still lying in the vines Gabon forced him to lay on. And Usopp is shook on the fact that bro is still alive. Jinbei is looking straight at Imu and confused on what he's even looking at. Robin asks where the monster trio is, and Nami doesn't even get to fully respond. Brook expresses that they chose the worst time to go to the realm of the dead. In the next panels, Robin's trying to free herself from the vines again, and Jinbei's still trying to tell her to stop. But Robin replies saying that she can't just sit there and do nothing. Dog, this is the guy who kicked Sanji out of the monster trio. This guy. He was so useless. Even Nami knew he was supposed to be more of use. The first thing she said was something about how Jinbei literally did nothing and she thought she was good. I was saying on Twitter that there was a reason Jinbei is the one caught in vines and Sanji is with the monster trio. It's like people are so adamant on trolling about Sanji, eventually you can't take it seriously anymore. That boy Jinbei is some actual butt cheeks, throw him away. In the next page, we see Summers start to regenerate finally, while Imu tells him that they need to establish authority on Elbath. But Summers asks what do they even do with a country that has no king? This is of course another point of discussion. Why is Summers healing up? Wasn't Gaban supposed to have permanent damage on him? Alright, let's be real. No one actually thought that. Summers was still alive after Gaban cut the dude in half. We literally saw him speaking to himself, caught in his vines last chapter. Gaban wasn't there to kill him or even knock him out. He literally says he's in a hurry and he got past his obstacle accordingly. Gaban didn't even worry about if Summers was to die or not. He literally jumped past him, hit the floor where the vines were, and kept running. That boy didn't even stop. By the way, this is what happens when you have an obstacle and you have full force and conviction behind doing your job. Gaban had Summers in his way, dealt with him quickly, got to his target destination, and was immediately on smoke, but failed because of unfortunate circumstances. I think you can guess what I'm comparing this to. Yes, Kizaru. Come on bro, it was similar. Kizaru had Luffy in his way, he dealt with him quickly, got to Vegapunk, and started yapping to him. Yeah, Kizaru vs Luffy Discourse in 2025, sue me, but the anime is finally here, so we're gonna have basically the same conversation all over again, so I'm prepping my knowledge. Imu is watching as Dory and Bragi pull up and tells them that they need to claim dominion of the island, and so they should reign as the kings of Elbath. Bragi suddenly grabs Imu despite what they're telling him, and apparently Imu is shook. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. There's no way Bragi was that fast, and there's no way Imu doesn't have observation. But nevertheless, Bragi grabs hold of Imu and tells the others to keep running ahead, and he asks how many holy knights are on the island. Imu doesn't even respond to the question and instead orders him to kill Ja Rule and claim that he and Dory are the kings of Elbath. Imu is also, while saying this, pulling out a literal grimoire. What the hell is going on in One Piece? Bragi says that's crazy talk and that Imu doesn't call the shots here. And so from the book, Imu summons a dagger and a huge shotgun, stabbing Bragi's arm to get the grip off, and then using the shotgun to blow off his arm. While doing this, Imu says to accept their ungodly power. I'm very confused on if bro wants to be a god or not. Everyone is shook on what just happened. Bragi's arm just got shot off by a shotgun. Chat, I have no idea what allowed Imu to do this, but they need to be stopped immediately. Imu then says they're going to transform Bragi into a demon with the cost of his lifespan. He will receive a body unyielding to death, unprecedented strength, and he will no longer be bound by reason or common sense. Why can Imu transform other people into demons using their lifespans? How do you even combat that? Bragi sinks into the summoning circle and Imu uses Domi Reversi, or whatever. They use the named attack to spin the circle and completely transform Bragi. And then he comes out literally 4 to 5 times bigger than the giants around him. They are all shook because what is even going on? Bragi looks like he's about to swing on them with a menacing look. Bragi actually does swing on them and he sends the giants flying. Then he says that it feels exhilarating, that he feels like he can do anything. In the next page, we see that Dory's been transformed as well, and they say they're gonna go to wherever Jirul is to kill him and fulfill Imu's orders. All of a sudden, even more of the giants start turning into demons, and the others who aren't being transformed are trying to get away. In the final double spread of the chapter, we see all the new demon giants bigger than ever, and behind them is all the nightmare monsters revived from earlier. Imu says that this is the power of Elbath and that it's not without merit. The nation should not be laid to waste, instead it should be ruled, so they'll all witness how they will serve under the conditions of war. Where Ja Rule is, the other giants are telling him to run away due to Dory and Bragi's strange behavior, but the final panel of the chapter is Ja Rule asserting that true warriors have no idea what the meaning of the word run is. And the chapter ends. That was an insane chapter. Emu pulling up and using no haki other than knocking out fodder, then using their real powers, devil powers, to do ridiculousness. Why does Emu have access to other people's lifespans? Why can Emu just spawn weapons that can one-shot giants out of a book? I have no idea what Oda is cooking, but why did it feel like I was reading a Black Clover chapter this week? Damn, I just felt sad saying that. When was the last time I even read that manga? Jokes aside, there's a lot that can come out of this arc. A lot. First off, I think we're actually about to see a Ja Rule masterclass. Even though the odds are completely against his favor, there's no way Oda is about to have him get embarrassed after he showcases this conviction. I just need confirmation that there is a way to fight against this, because this is just ridiculous. Emu seems like an obstacle no one can get through. Heck, no one ever did get through them. One other thing I want to mention is the Sabo situation, because this is honestly frying me. There are people claiming Sabo did something insane by escaping the room Emu was in, and okay, cool. If the escape was completely off screen, then this would be an insane feat, but we literally saw how he did it. First off, Emu didn't use any weapons, they used their tail, hit Cobra who was already crippled, then Sabo shot an attack that Emu quite literally ate, and then Emu shot their tail at both of them again. Sabo's on the floor literally dying from getting hit with the tail once, and then Cobra, who's taken twice the damage of Sabo, stands up and saves him by getting in the way of the third tail stab. There is no feats here. Sabo did nothing crazy. Heck, any of the monster trio could have replicated this. At least Sanji can literally fly. Sabo can't do anything. I'm genuinely tired of the Sabo glaze. It literally has nothing to back it up except imagination. Please put the fries in the bag. Anyways, what did you guys think of the chapter? I've given it a solid 8 out of 10. The lack of Sanji is starting to get to me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments though. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.